Ruh-roh.
Good morning, everybody. How are you out there in TCA land? April 15th upon us. You are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere, coming to you live from the WWDB studio, DBTV studios in the heart of Las Vegas.
702-992-3207.
I have it written right here. I have it written right there.
Can't see that far.
Yes, I can.
992-30.
I have evidence that says otherwise.
702-992-3207.
If you're watching us on Facebook, thank you so very much. Of course, you can watch us on the TCA page, the WWDB TV page, on YouTube, same channels. Download the WWDB TV app to your phone for Android if you're on the go. WWDB TV LV for your iPhones. And of course, if you miss anything, you can go back to YouTube, Facebook to rewatch. Or if you have Roku, download the WWDB TV network. Not only will you see all of Thoughts Count Anywhere, but all of the multitudinal number of shows that are available. He doesn't want me to use plethora anymore. So good morning, Jennifer.
Multitude.
I couldn't come up with a better word on the fly. What do you want from me?
I like
Anyway,
plethora.
we have a lot to do. I do too, but he says I wore it out. Anyway, we have a lot.
That was my supervisorial opinion.
Yo, what? What the hell is that? Anyway, as we got a lot going on. Matt, how are you, sir?
I'm doing good. How about you guys?
Good. Have you caught up after being away? Through WrestleMania weekend. Is like you're back into normal sleep mode and stuff now.
What's sleep?
I was going to say for as
Is
little
that
as
that
you
thing
get.
they called when I blink and then I go back to work?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
Sort of like
gotcha.
that. Yes, for sure. Chief, how are you, sir, this week?
Uh-oh.
Outstanding.
Outstanding. Why is nobody ever instanding? Why is everybody outstanding?
Outstanding.
That's good. You look good. Everybody looks good today. Everybody looks fresh for April 15th. Tax day.
Tax day.
However, because the 15th is on a weekend, it goes to Monday. However, somebody told me, might have been here on it, that all California residents have till October because of all the flooding and evacuation and all that stuff that's been going on. So based on where you live, check it out. But otherwise, Monday the 17th, unless you file an extension, technically is your filed day.
Well, if California has until October, then everybody else should have until October. It is the United States of America, and we're all equal. So how can you differentiate from one and not another?
If your house gets floated away and everything versus another part of the country, they give you time to get other paperwork.
Excuses.
I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. What do I know about hockey?
No. I'm just saying.
If you suddenly got beachfront property, then
I'm just saying.
Yeah, the property
Still gotta do
value
your
goes up
taxes.
and they don't have to pay tax, right?
And nothing. Don't get me wrong. Nothing against California.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, if they have been granted
Mhm.
by the government until October to get everything together,
Right.
then everybody else in the country should be also. You shouldn't
And
you
that
should
is true, Chief, but
differentiate.
you know
You
why?
should differentiate from one against another.
John?
Sir,
And Chief, you are absolutely correct.
Thank you.
However, what you are misunderstanding is that, yes, we are all equal. So if Nevada has natural disasters like California did, then Nevada would equally get that time.
But you know how people can do it the same way? File an extension.
File an extension.
That's all. Just file an extension.
That was
till
coming.
October.
That was coming.
All right, let's get to it. Listen,
All right.
we haven't done this in a regular spot because of my inability to remember what the hell we do on this show. Therefore, we're going to start it right off with
Story time with Matt.
Can't wait. Based on what he's got written here.
And now here is your storytelling host, Matt Mullen, the Mr. Rogers of the Fremont Street neighborhood. Take it away, Matt. What's happening in the neighborhood?
All right, I got a real wild one. Wild. It was Tuesday afternoon at 2:30. I'm walking around. All of a sudden, the security phones both start ringing. And I was like, hello. Then my regular cell phone starts ringing. And everyone's like, oh, my God, get to the courtyard now. Hurry up. So I get to the courtyard, and I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, this guy's trying to stab everybody. I was like, what? And they're like, he went that way towards Denny. So I run over there, and I see him at the end of the breezeway. And I was like, shit. So I called 911. The next operator will be right with you. I was like, what?
Maybe you dialed DMV by mistake.
No. And then I call Fremont Security because this guy's starting to get onto the Fremont like experience.
Right.
They didn't answer the phone, and I was like, of all days to be doing this to me right now, this is not it. And I was like, fuck it, I'm just gonna pepper spray this dude. And then I look over, and like 5 Fremont security guys are like walking towards us, because the guy's like maybe 30 feet in front of me, and I'm just keeping an eye on him because it's me and him. And I was like,
right.
I don't know if I really want to do this one-on-one because he's a big dude too. So I run over to the Fremont guys and I'm like, hey, this dude's got a knife. And he had somebody by the throat with a knife. And they were like, oh shit. So we all run in front of him, like grab our pepper spray and like, dude, drop the knife or you're getting it. And the guy's like this, and he's like thinking about it for a second, and he just drops it. And then Fremont security is like, all right, leave that way. And I was all like, what? He just had somebody by the throat. And I grabbed him real quick, threw him in handcuffs.
Wow. What would,
See, you laugh at me. You laugh at me when I say kendo stick. If you had a damn kendo stick, you could have hit him in the damn ankle. You see? You laugh at me, don't you? Okay, but I'm sorry. I didn't mean
I would have
interrupt.
pelted that dude in the head as hard as I could
I
if I
didn't
had
mean to
a
interrupt
kendo
the
stick.
story.
You're
Let's
fine.
continue
You're fine.
on.
was he on anything, or was just other than maybe
He was a couple fries short of a Happy Meal
Well,
for sure.
Did they come?
It was crazy. Like right before we got him in cuffs, I got the hold of the marshals, and I was like, "Hey, there's a guy on Fremont Street with a knife. Get here now!"
right?
Yeah.
And then we like get him in cuffs, and as soon as I hear the click, you hear the sirens coming, and I was like, "Thank God!"
Jeez.
And just to make it better, like everybody saw this. As soon as I put the handcuffs on him,
Right.
we got like a standing ovation, and I was like, "You're welcome. You're welcome."
You're-
You're welcome.
Watch me every
This
Saturday
guy
from
turns
9 to 11 a.m.
This guy turns around and literally screams, "You're just arresting me because I'm black." And everybody on Fremont Street is like, what the hell did he just say? And I was like, welcome to my job. We're
Right.
taking him this way, though.
Welcome to my world. Wow.
And then the marshals, there was like 14 of them showed up.
Jeez.
And then he went to jail for like 10 charges of assault with a deadly weapon.
Wow. And so the only person, well, I should say that. So he had one person by the throat,
Like 2 people.
2 people, but he didn't actually hit anybody.
He
with the
didn't
knife.
actually stab
Right.
anybody, thank God, because
Right.
it could have turned a whole lot
sure,
worse.
sure. What kind
We
of
had
knife?
like 10 victims.
Was it like a big hunting knife? Was it like a what kind? I mean, how do you?
It was like a larger, like fold-out knife.
Gotcha. Wow, that's nuts.
I'm just glad I didn't see somebody with like a trail of blood and like holding a bloody knife or
I,
something.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
know what I'm buying you for Christmas.
Gun.
Kendo
Is that a
stick.
A kendo stick.
Kendo stick.
Wow. You know, it's. There was another shooting incident this past week, and I shared the story on my wall.
Yeah.
And I simply said, you run out of adjectives to share how you feel about these things happening every day.
Oh, the bank.
Yeah, the bank. That's the one.
And
And then,
as I've said, when's enough enough?
oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then the story like this just adds into that. Now, whether the gentleman was a few fries short of a Happy Meal, which is a great line, or
I
not,
like that one. That's good. I got it.
you know, it's still another incident of violence. Where did he get the knife? That sort of thing. Is there any thought on Fremont Street? And I hate to ask this. I don't know if I heard it or not. But is there anything where they're going to make it safer by having only certain entrances and maybe wands and all that stuff too? Now, you can't control everybody coming out of the casino, so it's not going to be 100% perfect by any stretch. Can they do anything down there to protect you and the people that are down at Fremont from that?
When there
stuff?
was like those 2
Snipers.
shootings, I wish we did. Actually, during like a couple parades, there are snipers on like roofs.
Oh, they're really
But
paintball.
when like
Paintball
those 2
snipers.
shootings happened like pretty quickly to each other,
Yeah.
there was like they made it so like you had to come in on like Main Street or 4th Street or
Okay.
one of those, and they had metal detectors set up, and
Okay.
they just didn't have the manpower to like hold them up too long. And
Wow.
See, that's what I was going to say. Wouldn't it be smart if they were able to put a couple of metal detectors down there to help you all out?
But then you can't control the people coming out of the casinos, though. Who are
it's going to help next month when they open that substation, like literally on
Yeah.
Fremont
Yeah.
Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
because it's visible now to people that say, okay, this is getting real.
And they see people coming in and out and being like, but I better not.
Yes.
Metro will be here in like a minute.
Exactly.
It's a shame that the world's gotten to the way it is. And I'm sure not just in our country, but I'm sure in countries around the world, it's the same way.
Well, that leads me to ask a question like this. If that's the case, which I'm sure it is, why do we not hear as many incidences from around the world? There are incidents that we hear about, bombings and stuff like that go on. But why don't we hear as much about these type of incidences in other parts of the world like we hear about here?
First Amendment.
You're saying those other countries don't abide by that? Freedom of the press?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
Even though they have,
Name those countries.
even though they have cell phones, right? People can still video record shit that goes on. I hear what you're saying, but it's just weird.
That and the news here probably got too much clickbait already of
That's
they
true.
gotta talk about Trump every day. They gotta talk about whatever other
I guess
nonsense they have every day, and they run out of TV time at
I
some
guess
point.
what one of the states now is seriously considering doing away with TikTok. South Dakota.
Yes, I remember. I remember
Wyoming.
reading that. Yeah.
I know it's one of them up
Yeah.
in
Who even
the.
goes to Wyoming purposely?
I think it's Wyoming. I think it's Wyoming.
Well, there goes our Wyoming audience. Anyway,
No,
not
hey,
from you. No, you didn't hear what he said.
No, well, shit.
You didn't hear what Matt said.
The only thing I know about Wyoming
I
is
turn
Eric
off-
Bischoff lives there. That's it.
When we're doing this show, I turn off on this side.
All right, let's get to some rumors, shall we? Let us move on.
All right, here we go.
702-992-3207. Give us a call, add your chat. By the way, I looked ahead at the birthday list. It's quite a list that we have here. Some great names from past and
Hey,
present.
Ronald. Good morning, buddy. I was
Yes.
wondering where you were at.
What
All
is-
right.
Oh, he's taking a shot at Thomas.
Already.
All right. Well, yeah. Is he working again?
Yeah.
Is he unavailable to us?
Yes.
We may just have to write him off.
No.
He ordered shirts from me. I may have to keep them as ransom until he
He's good
shows back
for it.
up. Fine.
He's good for it.
Oh, he's right.
No, he's
Are
working.
you saying
What?
that Thomas might be history?
Oh,
Yes.
historian. Oh,
I was
my
just thinking
God.
of smart ass shirt to
Oh
put too.
my God!
The historian
Oh,
is
See what-
history.
See what you
and
started.
I didn't
See?
mean any harm.
See?
I meant nothing by it. I love
Sometimes silence.
I love
is
what's his-
gold.
I
Hey,
love
there's
what's his
one
name.
of my songs. Silence is golden. Mhm. Yeah.
I love what's his name. What's his name?
Yes.
Oh, Thomas. That's
Thomas.
it. All right, let's get into some
All
rumors.
right,
Rumors
where we at? Let's get
AEW
some wrestling going.
might do a roster split with the new Saturday TV show coming up in prime time.
What are they going to do? 505 Live? They're going to steal the Atlanta WTBS channel or what? Huh?
Do we have it? Did they come up with a name for this new show yet?
Not yet. They haven't even announced it, but there's like heavy rumors that they're gonna
Well, I like what Matt put. Saturday TV show. Just call it that.
I have a.
Yeah.
To me, the prime time is the part that bothers me in terms of when they're going to air this,
Hey, there's only one prime time.
especially on Saturday
That was WWE back in the day.
on Raw, Monday Night Raw.
Monday Night
Mhm.
Raw, prime time.
Right, but you're talking
Don't
about.
be stealing things.
That's right. But prime time is generally up until 11 o'clock, like from, 8 to 11.
Well, hell,
Yeah.
that's past
Evening,
my
right?
bedtime.
I did, because you got football game. Well, you have college games that can run late.
Go ahead.
ESPN covers, those late West Coast games, all that stuff.
Go ahead.
They have issues now with games being preempted via the TBS network because of baseball playoffs, college basketball, and all of that.
Hockey.
I don't see how that's going to benefit them being in prime time on a Saturday, because they have as much opportunity of losing an audience and people trying to find them because of everything else going on around prime time.
I have an available network.
Tony Khan. That's it.
Yeah.
Tony Khan.
No, absolutely. Tony, call WWDB-TV, 702-992-3207.
Throws the money.
We got
out,
time at you.
You know?
So they're going to have to do something, because as we were talking about before the show went on, whoever may decide to not renew their contract in WWE whenever it expires, and if they end up going to, let's say, AEW, it would probably be first choice, and maybe ROH, New Japan, Impact. I believe that AEW is going to back themselves into a corner, just like WWE was, with too much talent.
They already have.
Right? I mean, yeah, exactly. We can think of names of people. Miro's name keeps coming up as people just sitting in the back. Now, he's not even in the back. He doesn't even go anymore.
Uh,
You know, I think they're going to be painting themselves into a corner, just like everybody scoffed at WWE having too much talent.
Can I ask the question?
Ask anything you'd like, sir.
This says new Saturday TV show, right? Why don't they just bring ROH on TV?
I think they will at some point.
And-
Just not the.
Hype it up.
Yeah.
Make it better than what it was. We saw some great ROH shows out here.
Yeah,
Okay, fantastic at Sam's Town.
true.
Okay, and it was packed. It was
Billy Ball.
It was sold out.
Billy's out there. She says AEW is stacked with talent. Love you, Billy.
Good morning, Miss
Right.
Billy.
Speaking of stacked,
Speaking of stacked, what was that, John? Billy? Okay. Anyway,
Anyway, let me finish my
go
thought.
ahead. Yeah.
So anyway, why not put ROH on and start building that show
Make
up
that into that
again?
slot.
Thank you.
On TBS.
It just says an AEW Saturday primetime show. It doesn't say it wasn't Ring of Honor.
Oh,
That's
well,
true. That's why I asked about a name.
I'm
but
okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but,
I
theor-
like ROH
but
myself.
theoretically, ROH has its own roster, does it not? Theoretically.
Well, people move from AEW over to ROH and
Right.
back to.
So they're almost
AEW.
using ROH like a Raw SmackDown.
Yeah,
kind of
sort
thing.
of. But you know what? Can I digress for a minute? You like that? Digress.
It's only two syllables.
That's okay.
It's not enough for
That's
you.
pretty potent.
Potent. That's two more.
I have to tell you, I was very, very pissed off last night, unsatisfied when I see what AEW is doing with Mr. Briscoe right now.
Okay.
Putting him with Jeff Jarrett and I could see him with Lethal because him and Lethal been wrestling each other for 20 some years. But then you put him in with Sanjay Dutt and the big tall guy and everything, and they had a four-way where you got three bad guys and a good guy.
Mhm.
That just don't freaking work. Okay. And I think Mr. Briscoe deserves better than what he's getting at AEW right now.
Oh, that's another. I mean, that's another talent. He is originally an ROH staple, is he not? He and his brother were.
Yes.
There's a guy that should be a face of a new ROH. But like you said, Matt, and it's a great point before we go to break. They never said what the show title is going to be. It could very well be a rebuild of ROH to some degree, right? Could be, right?
I got a name for him.
Hold that thought though, because I got to go to break. We're late.
Okay.
Can you want to write it down so you don't forget it?
No, I got to ask you about it when we go to break.
Okay. You're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We know this show's complete now that Billy Ball's out there watching. Glad that she's up in time to catch a little bit of us and everybody else. Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be right back.
Aloha, this is April Hom, the Royal Hawaiian from Glow, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is John Cena. I just wanted to send you a congratulations on your podcast. Thoughts count anywhere. Because indeed they do. Thoughts are important. I mean, what would we do without them? And how can they not count anywhere? Is there a place that thoughts don't count? I can't think of one. Well, I just wanted to say thank you very much, congratulations, and good luck on the podcast. Thoughts count anywhere, because they do.
Hey, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. 702-992-3207 is our number. Give us a call. Your thoughts on ROH, AEW, too much talent, whatever it is. Give us a call because phone lines are working and we have the equipment now to actually hopefully hear you better than before. So give us a call. We'd love to chat with you. All right, let's go back. So we're not going to explain this because this is kind of like an underlying joke from a couple of weeks ago, but Chief reminded me of what the new show could be called. And so we're going to have to make a hashtag out of that.
No, you
Hashtag
announce it, though.
YMWF. Hashtag that. That should be the new name of the show. And if you want to know what that stands for, you have to go back 2 shows ago. So we're going to just leave it at that. That's all. All right, quickly, a couple other rumors. Rumor is LA Knight is a leading candidate to possibly win Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I thought he was going to slug the female ref last night
Oh,
after he got caught tugging on the wrestling trunks, and then what's his name from the guy that plays the trombone.
Oh yeah,
Xavier
Xavier
Woods.
Woods.
Yeah. He grabs LA Knights trunks and wins.
Right.
And the ref don't see it. I thought Mr. Ricker was going to knock the shit out of her.
You see at the bottom of the screen is our new hashtag promotion, hashtag YMWF.
Yes.
We want that to go, so please put that out there. Hashtag YMWF. Holy cow. Is this sort, would if Knight wins it, would it be sort of a out of left field kind of winner, or are they trying to, not that he doesn't deserve it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But in the scope of WWE, there's always going to be those who think is going to win it. Would LA Knight winning it kind of be one of those, aha, oh shit, you deserve it kind of moments? And then where would that lead to him? Are we really thinking that if Reigns still has that title at WrestleMania next year, assuming that's who he would, I mean, either be the only one, would he really be looked at as someone that can knock Roman off?
I don't think he can knock Roman off, but with the amount of pop he gets in the last couple of weeks, I think they're just going to ride that wave of momentum. And with the rumors of like the draft and possibly a new champion coming, I can see him beating whatever new champion goes up on SmackDown.
Okay.
I could see that happening, but
Okay.
I don't see anybody besides Cody Rhodes beating Roman for the actual.
They keep throwing Seth's name out there, though, as possibly the guy to upend Roman. at
Roman
some
said that himself. He said, who do you want to go against at WrestleMania 40? He said Seth Rollins.
Here's the thing I think people forget. LA Knight was in the WWE some time ago. Maybe they're finally realizing what they have in LA Knight, and they're giving him the push that he deserves.
that he's long overdue for.
Yes.
It's even like in LA all week at SmackDown, you heard more yeah than woos,
Right.
which is mind blowing because that's
Right.
all you hear
Right.
before WWE events. Woo, woo. Now it says yeah, yeah, yeah. It was all through the Staples Center, the freaking
Right.
all
So
through
far.
WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw. It was,
Right.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even on most
They
of
didn't
that.
even come on any of them.
Right. Well, I agree. If the guy's hot and what's best for business, like they always talk about, I agree. Ride him. Do it. And he certainly deserves it.
And he's great on the mic.
Yeah.
He is great on the mic. He can give you a promo.
Facts.
L.A. Knight.
Yeah.
Ronald corrected me, saying that the reference to YMWF was 3 shows ago. See, he's already continues to jockey for that position that Thomas seems to be relinquishing.
How much is he willing to pay?
Exactly.
Ronald,
3
for the record, it's still 2-1. I'm still trying to get rid of Thomas.
That's right.
They won't budge. I don't know why.
3 shows ago, huh? Okay.
Norberto says, I was upset he didn't come out during WrestleMania. Him winning Money in the Bank would be good for him. Billy Ball says, if they let Ho Buck, I think she means Joe Buck, and Troy Aikman do that draft again, it would be money. And then Billy just, I don't know if she's referencing,
Me.
yeah, LA Knight or any of the 3 of us. All right, John too. He is hot. So I'm guessing she means LA Knight.
But you know, and folks, I can say this to you. We've had the pleasure of knowing him,
Right.
seeing him grow, going to different federations, coming back out to Vegas,
Mhm.
to the West Coast. He's on the big screen now.
Mm-hmm.
He's making it again. Like Zoe Stark's there now.
Mhm.
Carrying Cross is there now. Should I say Solo or Sepha?
Solo.
Solo Sikoa is there now. They're all from here.
That's right. They have their roots here in Vegas.
We've had the good fortune of seeing them grow here. And you know what? Kudos to them. So I say this, man. LA, get the belt you want, and we'll support you.
Couple of advertising notes. Number one, please take a moment when you can. Go to thoughtscountanywhere.com. Check out all the news, reviews, previews. Also go out to the shop tab, the merchandise tab. We got a plethora of shirts and merchandise up there with our logos and statements that you can buy on any type of product, from the t-shirts that you see us wearing to bibs for kids to hoodies to whatever you need. Go check it out. Also, right, that's what I said.
Established.
That's right. That's one of the original
2019.
ones.
This is the original.
Also, too, you notice in the bottom of the Facebook chat room, you'll see a little statement at the bottom. Send 200 stars to pin your comment here. And so basically what that means is that if you buy stars or want to make your comments known and you hit on that, you can actually help support the show financially. And they'll send us a couple of bucks off of every time people comment with stars. So if you could do that, that would be great. We'd appreciate it. So would John, so we can keep paying our bills. Hey, Brandon, what's up, bud?
Just the cable bill.
Just the, no, internet. Yeah, internet. Be specific, please. All right, let's move on. There's a rumor that Roman Reigns versus The Rock will be at 40. Can the story hold on that too long, or for that long, or is it too late? Is the moment gone, like they talk about with Cody?
I don't think it's too late, but they're gonna have to. Roman did an interview and basically said this is like this is gonna be like the greatest storyline in history, and people that think it's almost over. If this is baseball, we're only in like the bottom of the third inning, so I don't know what crazy stuff they have planned with this whole bloodline thing, but
Especially
apparently
after-
you can't hold on for another year because
especially if they're showing cracks already, right?
Yeah.
In the faction.
Their break, you know, when you see Solo Sikoa last night put his hand on Paul,
Right.
that's telling me something there.
Right.
Okay, so I don't think it's cracks. I think it's gaps. Okay.
Okay.
And I think the bloodline is, there's nobody with Roman now.
Right.
Okay. Well,
But yet they're still calling them all the bloodline.
yeah, but it's to me it's just a matter of time now.
Right.
And they're trying to come up with, well, I won't say they. Vince McMahon has got to come up with fucking storylines. Excuse my language, everybody out there. And he's not going to do it. Okay. They say he's a genius. He is. I'll give the man his dues. In his day, he was par excellence. How about that? You like that one?
That's even a little French.
Yeah.
Like French fries.
Yeah, French fries. Yeah. McDonald's. But anyway, no, seriously. The storyline, they're not going to have the storylines. They're breaking it up. So it's not going to be, it might be Jimmy and Jay. I guess they're going to have a rematch with Kevin and Sammy. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the Usos against Sammy and Kevin. It's
Right.
not part of the bloodline.
Right.
I see Solo as the one coming out, and I've said it before. I think Solo is going to be the one to beat Roman for the belt. That's what I feel.
I think that's a possibility, but they have to break things up, and it'll be interesting to see how the storyline goes.
I think they're going to tease cracks for a long time.
Mhm.
I don't think they're going to break up anytime. I don't even think they're going to break up this year.
Well, Pop said that there's another one coming up.
Right. I saw that
So-
post. There's another one out there. Plus, I saw a talk
And
again.
he's big.
I saw a talk again that there's throwing women's names out there about who can be joining the bloodline.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see, but it has this storyline in every capacity possible, has so many options for conversation. Like the bloodline story has been going on for well over a year, right?
Yes.
So, and he's got the belt now 1,000 days roughly, give or take a day or two here and there.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this story still has so many ways it can go. Can it sustain to WrestleMania 40 to get The Rock involved? That I'm not so sure, only because there's so many other potential players in the mix over the next 12 months that we've already just mentioned.
I love The Rock, don't get me wrong. One of the best wrestling personalities par excellence.
Mhm. That's twice with that.
Okay.
Par excellence.
On that level. Anyway, I don't want to see The Rock and Roman. I do not want to see it.
I think that moment's gone right now.
I do too. I don't want to see Brock and Roman.
I don't think
I don't want to see Goldberg and Roman. I don't want to see Cena and Roman.
Well, Brock did he ever sign a new contract, or is he?
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think we'll see Brock in the mainstream unless it comes out, and I don't know if it did, that Brock attacked Cody at the behest of the tribal chief somehow.
I heard. Well, let's finish this. I think there's other wrestlers out there who deserve a shot at Roman.
They've been in the company at least 8 months
Yes.
and been on TV every week.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So those are the requirements, remember.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
And I
They
gotta,
can't just recently debut
Well,
and make like a huge thing.
and I got to tell
They have
you,
to be there every week.
I don't know when Charlotte's coming back again.
Do you think Charlotte can beat Roman?
If she kicked him in the nuts, yes. She could put him.
I did hear a lot of people said that the bloodline angle is probably the best storyline in wrestling in like the last 10 years. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
I can't think of another
Yes,
one that stands
totally.
out to this degree. Yeah.
And you know what? I would be very well other than I would say Seth and Mox and Roman. That was a good storyline too.
As the Shield, you mean?
That was a good storyline.
That was.
But I'm very interested to know who thought of the bloodline. Who came up with it? And we know who developed it.
I wouldn't be surprised if
Developed it.
Heyman. I wouldn't be surprised if Heyman had the initial thought about
I was
it.
going to say, I bet you it was Heyman if anybody.
He's creative. I'm gonna tell you what. Vince made a mistake when he put the kibosh on ECW. Okay, because in my mind, there is nobody more creative in professional wrestling now than Paul Heyman, bar none.
I'm interested in hearing you say that, and I'm going to ask a question before we go to the rant.
You always do.
I know. Is a promotion like ECW
Go ahead.
needed as a separate promotion for what it did then, the violence and the this and the that, given the violence that we now see in certain matches within the traditional, within the WWE and AEW and the blood and this and that and everything else? Do we really need an ECW with that style, show, since it's already built into the existing ones? And I understand your point about not getting that they should have never gotten rid of it. But today, would an ECW be able to stand on its own, given those same type of performances are seen in AEW and WWE and TNA?
I think this way. Back in the day, if ECW wasn't promoting, we wouldn't have had the likes of Tommy Dreamer,
Rob Van Dam.
Rob Van Dam.
Sure.
How about Bubba Get the Table?
Devon, yeah, sure.
Wouldn't have him.
Right.
All right. So in that sense, excuse me, I think that development is needed. And that is where the storyline
So you're talking about more character development
And
than the actual
storyline-
style of wrestling.
and storylines
Okay.
created.
Okay.
They had great storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, look at Taz, the human suplex machine. All right. Well, it's rubbed off onto what's his name now? The big guy in AEW, Wardlow. All right. It's rubbed off on Wardlow. Kind of Taz passed the torch to Wardlow. And that I think that's lacking in that's lacking in WWE now. The torch is being passed.
John Rankin puts into the box. Thank you, John, by the way, for checking in.
Good morning, Mr. John.
GCW is like ECW today, and it's striving. It's
That's
growing.
what I was literally waiting to say.
Oh, go ahead. Talk about it. But before you do, let me say one thing. GCW was grown out of Atlantic City,
That's
New
right.
Jersey.
That's right.
So I'll defer to Mr. Matt now.
I was going to say that we do basically have like an ECW now is GCW, which is slowly growing and has like a cult following. Even when like they announced GCW is coming to Vegas Memorial Day weekend for
Excuse me.
when AEW is here, I'm pretty sure it's sold out like pretty quickly.
I think it's going to be at the Silver Nugget,
Yeah.
if I'm not
Okay.
mistaken.
Well, and I agree. And I remember I was not really introduced to GCW until I met Effie for the first time
Yep.
at a Versus Pro Wrestling event.
Yep.
That was my first introduction to it. And then when your favorite wrestler, Matt Cardona, went to GCW and had those matches that he had there for short term. So that's an interesting comparison.
And Mr. Moxley.
And Mox,
The indie
exactly.
god.
And you know, that you said something, and we got to go to break.
Well, we got to go to the rant.
Yeah. But the thing is, that to me is where good quality independent wrestlers are developed, noticed, get pushed to make it to the next level.
Right.
If we didn't have indie wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
half of the people that we see on TV wouldn't be there.
Sure. But yet, back in the golden age of wrestling,
Oh, here we go.
No,
See,
no.
I'm not saying nothing.
I'm teeing this up for you.
This is him.
This is for you. But back in the golden day of what's his name? Bruno?
Bruno
Those guys,
San Martino.
they didn't have an indie the way that it is today. They were homegrown, developed.
Imagine if Bruno was getting hit by light tubes. That would have been hilarious.
All right, with that note, we're going to step aside for the Chiefs rant because he is fired up. That's right. I hope he has something prepared. If not, we'll just have 3 minutes of dead air time.
Oh, no,
Anyway, it is now
no,
time
no.
for the best favoritist intro segment with Popeye that ever could have been developed. The Chiefs rant is next.
General quarters, all hands man your battle stations. Set material conditions Zebra throughout the ship. Make Zebra report to DC Central.
Because the chief says so. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is the chief. My 3 minutes of fame is now 2:58. But I've got an interesting one today. Everybody's been bad-mouthing the historian, Mr. Thomas Burnett, this morning. Well, I'm going to tell you, he enlightened the old chief last night. And I'm going to read this before I get started. Don't look over my shoulder.
What was the topic about?
I have a rant for you for tomorrow, if you don't have one. You can talk about how in Liv Morgan's promo, she said that when she heard her and Raquel first started teaming, she had no idea that it was going to lead to the tag titles. She said that on TV. Okay. The statement made her look dumb, as the goal should have been to become the tag team champions, which they are now. But seeing her infinite wisdom, she messed up. Then her and Raquel attacked Chelsea and Sonya for no reason at all, which made them out to be heels. That's not how you book new champions, Vince.
Liz is in the chat room, by the way.
Okay, hi Liz, how you doing today?
Just giving you a heads up.
That's okay. I'm on this one. So anyway, we talk about character development. We talk about great thinking. Well, you have to take one step at a time. And if you're not sure on what you're saying about your partner or about matches or about outcomes or wanting to wear a tag team belt or an individual belt, well, maybe you shouldn't say nothing. So anyway, I'm giving my shout out to Thomas Burnett today for giving me a legitimate rant. Okay. I want to see Liv and Raquel keep the belts for a long time. Now, what I've heard is they're going to lose them real quickly. So I'm going to say this. This is the Chiefs rant over and out. Now I want to continue it because I have heard that they're going to lose the tag belts real quick.
To who? Ronda and Shayna?
I don't know.
Well, Ronda's injured, so I can't see them.
I don't know. That's where
Yeah.
I'm coming to
Yeah.
you guys. Who do you think is it going to be Sonya and
Chelsea.
Chelsea?
I don't know, but Thomas, that message was fucking stupid.
I just wanted to put it out there. I just wanted to put it out there so that I could read
So
it.
you're
and
telling
and
me
get your reaction.
If they
to it.
put like two random ass people together in a tag team and they're like, holy shit, we actually won the
Watch
tag
him-
belt.
I
watch
mean, like
Liz is
Sheamus
in
and
the room.
Cesaro back in the day when Mick Foley put those two guys
Yeah,
together, that kind
yeah,
of thing you're talking about?
Exactly.
It's like putting two random ass people together and being like, oh, we actually work as a tag team. We won the tag titles. I wasn't expecting that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How was that not carried? Let's like,
So
he's turning a whole
I
thing
didn't have a
into
problem
thing.
with it. I didn't have a problem
so,
with it.
cares?
so anyway, what I have heard though
And the
is
faces attack the heels. How does that make them heels?
I'm just putting it out there. I wanted
Thomas, go restock groceries.
I wanted to get
your
reactions.
history.
Anyway,
Bye-bye.
I just wanted to. So, in saying that,
Sometimes I just love sitting back and watching the show.
I have
Me too.
I have heard though that that they are going to lose the belts, and they're probably going to lose them quickly.
SummerSlam, give me a couple of months at least. They have somebody has to be
What
built
do you think?
towards it. Yes.
I like Liv Morgan, but Raquel's whole demeanor in this whole company is she has a back.
Chelsea,
Yes.
Chelsea and
Name anything else.
Chelsea,
Anything.
Chelsea and Sonya.
Who are they going to lose the tag belts to?
I mean, that's really it.
There really aren't many female tag teams going at it. I mean,
Wait. Who was Natty just tagging with?
Shotzi.
that would be all right. I'd
That
be
sounds
okay with that.
torturous.
You like that one? I like that one.
God, no.
Ultimately, though, I would like to see Liv and Raquel.
Can you
hold
imagine the
belts for a while.
horrific promos that would come out of those two as tag team champions? No.
By the way, if you're watching us on YouTube, feel free to put your comments in the comments box as well. They will feed into us so that we can see them. And of course, if you are listening, watching us as you're driving, 702-992-3207. I hope you're not watching us as you're driving. You can listen to us on the app. Great, the thing.
Is she still here?
Yeah, well, I said hi there. She's still there. We're on Liz Watch. No.
That's all right. Your mic's been off for 5 minutes.
Good.
Liz Watch 2023.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
What I do
In the
without
chat
the
room,
two.
somebody
Talk to me,
threw
talk
this
to me.
question before we went to the rant.
Yes, sir.
And I think we've discussed this kind of a little bit in the past. Better heel today, Roman, MJF. I have not seen MJF on TV in a bit, or am I just not seeing his matches?
You know, I was.
He's usually on at like the beginning of this.
You know, I was having a nice day.
Oh, sorry. Let me see who asked that question. Then you could be pissed at that person, not at us.
I was having a nice day.
Brandon asked that question.
Brandon.
Brandon Herrera. Our
Hi,
bud.
Brandon. How you doing, buddy?
Not anymore if you're pissed.
You're in my shit list now. Uh-huh.
Remember, Liz still may be in there.
I don't care.
Oh,
MJF or
Roman.
Who's the better heel?
Yeah.
Mike
Oh,
wise.
she's still there. Maybe
Mike-
she should go.
No, she's all right. She's going,
No, that's what she's
I
doing.
thought she was going grocery shopping.
Well,
Okay.
maybe she's listening on the app now.
Well,
Yeah.
she probably is. Anyway, Mike wise, MJF. Wrestling wise, Roman.
Okay. Your thoughts?
I would still say Roman's still the better heel just because of the whole demeanor he's got and the character and the whole faction behind him. MJF is a good heel, but he takes like all the cheap heat like
Possible,
spots
yeah.
and just talks a lot of shit.
Right.
But I think he's like genuinely hated.
Mm-hmm.
And Roman's just like, he's like the Thanos of wrestling. Like, he's like the big top freaking,
The what?
the like season ending main character
Marvel
bad
comics.
guy you're trying to defeat in the whole thing.
Right.
And MJF is like the mid-season finale guy you gotta beat to get to Roman.
Season 5. Listen, your comparisons today. First couple of fries short of a Happy Meal. That started it off. And then with this is great. I hope everybody's taking notes out there.
He got some sleep.
Well,
What's that?
He's thinking
I went to
straight.
bed at like 3 a.m. But
Oh,
okay.
some lady in here by the name. Oh, first of all, some lady named Elizabeth says here, Roman sucks and needs to go. And then, Aaron, what is the app you speak of? Does she have an Android or an iPhone?
Apple.
Okay, so you need to go to your app store wherever you can download programs to your
Do
phone.
you know what that is?
It's called the Apple Store, apparently. You need to search WWDB TV LV. That's what you need to search for. It'll come up in your store, hit download, and then you'll have it. And you could. And when we're not on, there's plenty of music, 24/7 music and movie sound bites and all sorts of good stuff.
Kristen, am I in trouble
So,
now?
Yes, you are.
Holy
You should have
shit.
taught her that.
No,
Anyway,
I
all right.
I don't even know how to do it.
Audio only.
Yeah, it is audio only, just like traditional radio, by the way. That's so. All right, we're going to step aside for our second break of the hour. We got so much going on. Right, in about 5 seconds, giving you enough
When
time
you're
to get
ready,
it
when
ready.
you're ready
No,
over there.
I have to stretch to give him time.
When
so he's
you're-
gotta-
when you're
You
ready.
ready?
I've been ready.
I will go.
I've
What do you
been
want from
waiting
me?
for you.
Do it. Hit the button.
Thoughts count anywhere. Y'all watching it. These are my new tag team partners, Steve-O, a.k.a. Zeus, from the hit movie Friday, and from No Holds Barred.
Hello, this is Martin Casals, aka Marty the Mob, and you're watching the Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. Enjoy.
What's up, man? It's your boy, Seppa Fatu. I'm here with my man, Big Chief. I need you to check out the podcast, Thoughts Count Anywhere.
This is Impact Wrestling's Dash and Chris Bay, the ultimate finesser, former Finesse Division champion, and you're listening to Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast.
Hi, I'm Sean Zavari. Listen to Thoughts Count Anywhere for all your wrestling news.
It's not the worst podcast ever, is it? It's the best podcast. Thoughts Count Anywhere. All your wrestling news, all your hobbit hey, all your gimmickry. Go on over, listen wherever your podcasts are downloaded. The Thoughts Count Anywhere podcast. I'm the big LG Doc Ellis. That's my endorsement. Booyah!
This is the Essential Character EC3 on behalf of my dear friends at Thoughts Count Anywhere. The podcast for your mind when you need deep thinking about all things sports and entertainment.
Hey, what's going on? This is Axe, and I'm smashing the demolition.
Hey, we want to invite you to watch every Saturday morning Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Hey guys, it's Tessa Blanchard and Ozzy, and you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Welcome back. John just went boing behind the desk. I have no idea.
We're not sponsored by Blue Chew.
That's standing ovation for that one. Anyway, 702-992-3207. The conversation today is absolutely off the charts. Excelente. As what did you say? Per excellence?
Par excellence.
Par excellence. So we're enjoying today's
That's
topics.
French.
French?
French.
Like French
Like
dressing?
onion soup.
Like, all right. Let's go down to some of the discussion topics. So what are we looking at? What you got there? Something interesting to share? What you got?
No, we were offline. We were talking about one of our topics coming up is about Sonny. And I asked the question, is Sonny still in jail? And it says, Sitch was arrested last May and then released on $227,500 bond, but a judge later deemed her to be a danger to the community. She is currently awaiting trial while she sits in jail and faces 26 years in prison if she gets convicted.
Wow.
So there's the answer.
You said it's on the list. Where is she on the list? Did I miss that bullet point? That Sonny's on there?
Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, it's under that one.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah.
Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll get to that in a second. So,
I was just...
No. That's good. I'm glad you shared that because I didn't see the name there. Dirt Sheets have asked with the crowd reactions of Dominic Mysterio, has he surpassed? Now we got to add this into that. Now we got a triple threat conversation. Has Dominic Mysterio surpassed MJF as a bigger heel?
No. He's got the bigger crowd boos, I think, just for like going after his dad and stuff like that. But with that, like Dominic Mysterio, when he did that promo on Raw, he definitely needs mic work.
Okay.
That was pretty awful. MJF far surpasses him on the mic. But I think after like a good couple years of Dominic honing in his craft, he'll probably be a bigger heel than almost anybody. But
well, MJF,
as of right now, no.
MJF is what, 24, 25, roughly?
Yeah.
How old is Dominic now?
I think 21, 22.
Okay.
A couple years younger.
Yeah, so he's not, I mean, age-wise, they're not that far apart.
No.
But I agree with you. I think in terms of heel on the mic, I'm right now, MJF would win that battle. I think Dominic has certainly improved. I mean, the character development since he's joined the Judgment Day, I think it's been off the charts terrific when you see what he was like when he first joined to where he is now.
Do you think that he's going to stay a heel, or is he eventually going to go back? Something's going to happen. He's going to go back and he's going to help his father, and he's going to wrestle as a lucha wrestler like Ray did for years. That's what I see happening.
I think as long as Ray is active in the ring for another, year or two, whatever he wants before, I think Dominic might stay on the heel side. But once, maybe to help Ray retire, however they want to do that, at some point, maybe they do flip him to join his dad as dad is retiring. And then he stays, like you said, as a babyface. Then does he go under the mask?
My envision is that that the faction's going to break up. Okay, Ray is going to go her way as the women's tag champ.
Unless, heavyweight champ.
That's what
you
I
said, tag champ.
Or heavyweight champ, excuse me.
Unless through the draft they get moved together.
Okay, then I see Finn Balor going as a single again. And I think he's going to go after a championship.
Okay.
I'd like to see him and Gunther. Okay, I think that would be good.
That would be an interesting match.
Then I see the Latino World Order turning on Ray.
Then Dominic comes in.
And Dominic comes in, and then it's Dominic and Ray. Dominic becomes the face again. Okay. And Ray retires. Dominic becomes the lucha.
Interesting.
That would be my concept of how to write it.
Okay.
I think Dominic needs to stop doing the 619. He's too big for it. It looks awkward every time he does it.
Can he really be a solid lucha as big a kid as he is?
No, he's too big for that kind of stuff. He needs to get rid of the lucha stuff and develop his own stuff, because even though he's going after his dad and he hates his dad, he's still doing all his dad's moves.
Right.
And he's a lot bigger than his dad, so it kind of just looks awkward.
Yeah.
I respect that opinion, but I'm going to give you a side note that I heard this morning, and it's got to do with Cody Rhodes. And somebody made the statement this morning that Cody Rhodes will never get over until he can develop a character, because he never got over his Stardust. Stardust went away.
Well, he wasn't into that one, so that didn't help him. But you're right. You're right.
This is dumber than the Thomas thing. Continue.
Well, you can kiss.
Who said this?
You can kiss my royal
Who
American.
said this?
Don't worry about who said it.
Name names.
I'll give you initials. MH.
Mark Henry.
Thank you.
He's an idiot.
Well, that's your opinion. And opinions
don't we have
are like
Mark Henry on the line right now?
Everybody's got one. But
I don't give a shit. Put him on.
But anyway,
that's retarded.
But anyway, the comment was made. It's going to take a couple years for Cody to develop.
He's not developed as the American Nightmare?
No.
You're telling me the most popular guy in the entire company is not over.
In what company?
WWE.
He wasn't even over in AEW.
Do we not watch WrestleMania?
He wasn't over in AEW. All right. Who got the bigger pop, LA Knight or Cody Rhodes?
Cody.
You said it yourself.
Cody.
LA Knight did. You said it all week. You heard it all over the city.
I said I heard Yaz all week, but when Cody came out, that place almost fucking erupted.
Well, and he didn't win, did he? I wonder why. Because he wasn't ready to win yet.
It's just part of the story. I guarantee they're giving Roman the 1,000 days and then he loses the belt.
He is not the face of the company.
The lead merchandise seller of the company.
Roman Reigns is the face of WWE.
He is.
Not Cody Rhodes.
But how are you going to say Cody Rhodes is not over?
You just said Cody Rhodes was the face of the company. Cody Rhodes isn't the face of the company. It's Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns is the face, but Cody is the most popular person.
I'm not saying Cody's not going to win the belt, but it's not this time right now.
SummerSlam.
No.
Bet.
No, I'm not betting. It's too early. They need to develop Cody Rhodes into a champion to retain and win the belt.
Everyone and their mother thought Cody Rhodes was ready and going to win at WrestleMania.
Well, guess what? This guy right here voted for Roman Reigns, not Cody Rhodes.
You and Bruno Sammartino are the only two to think that.
So
shit.
guess what? No, he voted the same way too. He voted the same way too, buddy. So there's a lot of us out there.
So let me ask you.
Cody Rhodes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was just going to ask this question as we go to the top of the hour. How would you develop Cody Rhodes in your mind? What does he need to do to be developed?
What does
into
Cody
you're
Rhodes need to,
suggesting?
Yeah.
I'm just
What does
curious.
Cody Rhodes need to work on to be champion?
He needs to quit kissing ass.
Such as, I mean, in your mind, I mean, does he need to become a heel to be a champion?
No.
Okay, so what
He
is
just he needs to learn, as you said, there's a pecking order. Okay. And I'm sorry, this is how I feel. You don't come into the company.
Oh, he hasn't been there 8 months and been on TV. Oh yeah, it's this nonsense again.
Well, see, no, that's fine. I'm going to shut up. At the top of the hour, though, I'm walking off. I'm done for today.
Oh dear God.
Okay, I'm done for today.
Billy Ball says, no way. Dom is a big, well, I won't describe the cat picture she has in there. Let's just say it rhymes with pussy. It's cringy every time he speaks or calls Ray a mammy. John Rankin says LA Knight is amazing. John then follows up and says, why the hell did WWE hold back Karrion Kross and not have him wrestle in Vegas at SmackDown?
That was dumb.
It was kind of a letdown.
Because they're stupid.
There you go. All this goes back to the. I just read the crawl. Are you kidding? You see what he's got there on the crawl. Watch next week for the match between Matt and the Chief. So,
guarantee I'll have my kendo stick with me.
On closing note of the first hour, I want to get. Did you guys watch the Dusty Rhodes bio thing on A&E?
I saw like highlights.
Did you? Okay, so I don't want to. I did watch it yesterday.
No, I didn't.
In its entirety. So if you guys get a chance to watch it, let's talk about it next time we're on the air, because I'd love to just get your feedback on that, because I watched it. I thought it was pretty good. All right, we're going to go to the top of the hour. We may need a few more drinks here during the commercial break, but we'll take care
I
of
need
that.
a grown up.
Hour number 2 coming up on the other side.
You're fucking.
Thoughts Count Anywhere will be next. Take us out of here. Please save us. Get us out of here. Hey, everybody. I am Aaron Phillips. You are.
I'm Governor Val Brown Klingelhofer.
And we host what kind of show?
We host the most fabulous show on this network you've ever seen. It's all about Kiwanis and what's going on in our different cities.
And Kiwanis Connects is the title, and you can watch us every Friday morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Pacific time, right on Facebook or WWDB-TV. Say goodbye.
This is your warlord of weird Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend, Sabu. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere, that's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch. Okay.
Watch this. Man.
All right, welcome back to Thoughts Count Anywhere. We had a detente happening here during the break.
We got you, folks.
That's right.
We got you.
That's right. All right, all is
The match is off.
the match. Well, the match is suspended.
We got
right
you.
702.
You got me too. I thought he was serious.
702-992-3207 is our
They're never serious.
is our phone. Oh,
Back in the day.
is our phone number 702-992-3207. Thank you for watching. Put your comments in there.
702-992-3207.
Yeah, what he said. All right.
Are you interrupting him?
Where are we going?
I didn't hear an excuse me.
I don't say excuse me.
Ding, ding, ding.
Round 2.
Back to the corner.
Are we on the discussion topics or
Folks,
what?
you can't make this shit up. You know.
Hell no.
Did we even start? Oh, we talked about Dominic Mysterio, so we can skip that one. All right, Bret Hart's comments we found rather enlightening on a lot of ways.
You're welcome, Chief. This is specifically for you.
Hey, do you wait a minute?
Oh, wait a minute. I want you to read what Liz put in the chat room.
Let's go back to Dominic.
Can you read what Liz put in the chat room there? at the bottom?
You are jerks. Well, we know
I hope
that.
you meant those two, because I'm just sitting here watching with
We
you.
know
Liz.
that. Hey, can we go back to Dominic?
Sure. As long as we don't interrupt you, you're good.
No, seriously. If they break up, if the faction break up, what do you think will happen with Dom? Seriously. He'll go single? He'll stay with Rhea?
Tape.
Or what?
Tape.
What do you think?
I think
Seriously.
Dominic should probably. There was like reports that he was going to go to be sent to NXT instead of going to the main roster.
I saw that too.
I think he needs to like develop his character. He's already developed his character, but he needs to like hone in like his in-ring work
Really?
and his mic skills.
I didn't see that.
Did you watch like his promo on Raw? He must have stuttered
Yeah.
over himself like 10 times.
But sending him down to NXT?
Yeah, why not?
Oh man, get out.
Listen, John, I'm going to put it right there for whoever needs. It's heard by John, by the way. Isn't there a guy
Let
in
me
town
have
with
that,
him
will
with
you?
tape face?
Will you give
There is a
me
guy
that?
in town as a comedian.
Hey, will you give me that? I need to take it home with me.
Well, that's John's. You have to ask him.
I need. Hell no, he put it up here. This is.
But it's John's.
We rent this out. We rent
That's
this
John's
here.
also.
We rent this right here. So if I can reach that, I'm taking it home with me.
John, I'm protecting your tape.
Oh,
Anyway,
get over
but you know what though? Let me ask you a
Talk to
question.
me, talk
If
to me.
Dominic does go down,
Okay. Elizabeth is leaving, so you can.
oh, she's leaving to bye, y'all. Even she can't handle it anymore. So if Dominic goes down to
Going
NXT,
grocery shopping.
if he goes down to NXT, seriously, what does he need? What should he work on and focus on in NXT before he comes? If that happens, but I read that same article. What should he go down and work on?
Who's down there besides?
Ralph Nader.
God
I
forbid.
think he's pretty much honed in his craft. Like, I think he's already like too far in to like go back to NXT.
Okay,
But
but he needs to work on the mic for sure. And that,
he definitely needs mic work for sure.
Right.
There's plenty of people on the main roster to talk to fix it, but
One of the best, Paul Heyman.
it's just repetition and practice is all he needs.
Well, even his dad. His dad. You know.
But he's been on TV enough that the repetition should be there, right? I mean, he's been up on the main
He's
roster.
usually never on the. It's usually Balor and Priest and
Or Rhea.
Rhea that are like doing the Judgment Day promos. He usually
True.
says like a word or two.
But he's been doing his own promos when it's his dad, though.
he knows how to talk shit about his dad real good. Other than that,
Because last night it was Priest that did all the talking because he talked about Bad Bunny and them going down.
Well,
to
and that's
Puerto Rico and
backlash
everything.
coming up on
Yeah.
Mother's Day weekend.
Yeah, but I mean, he didn't say nothing last night. Dominic didn't.
Well, you're right. When they're in as the Judgment Day, yeah, he doesn't. No, he just hugs and hangs on Rhea and all that other stuff. So, all right. So let's get back to Bret Hart's comments. He says modern wrestling is too phony with all the leg slapping, as well as criticizing AEW and Moxley for violence and the gore. Do you agree or think Bret should get with the times how wrestling has evolved from the old school mentality?
you're welcome, Chief. I'm going to shut the fuck up, and here you go.
You want the tape?
No, I agree. You know, and I said it to you earlier. You know, as we've progressed along, the wrestling's changed. I don't. You know my wife, all right. You know my wife well. When my wife can sit in the chair and watch the wrestling match and say, "Well, that's a botch," or they're talking and I can see it, and things like that. I think that part of it, if that's what Bret's talking about, I agree with him. I think they have forgotten how to do things without the regular human being or wrestling fan sitting in the seat should be able to see that stuff. Now, I took notice last night that I was watching the match and the camera guy screwed up because he put the camera right on the two wrestlers and the two wrestlers were talking.
Yeah, that's bad production.
Exactly.
I wouldn't do that.
Well, No, you just.
You know
give
who's
it-
like the worst person at that?
Who's that?
John Cena. He screams,
Mm-hmm.
"Clothesline me! Do this!" It's like when they had that tag match on SmackDown, he was like, "Sell longer,
Right.
get up!" And I was just like, "What are you doing?"
Right. Well, the first time I heard this word, and this is a nice segue, when I co-hosted a show years ago with Jeff Beard and the Giant Warrior, he used the word that I'd never heard of, and they speak carny.
Yeah.
They're supposed to.
They don't do that no more.
And I asked him on the air that day about, can you give us an example of something? And he chose not to because he didn't want to give anything away in case microphones pick up what's being said. And I obviously respect that. But you're right. Now they're doing more of, like you just said, clothesline me, hold the tight line, hold on, and that's. But I think we all know or want to believe or do know that there is conversation going on in the ring somehow to communicate to put the match on, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. The leg slapping,
or you see it.
Yeah, but that's angles on camera. Now the three of us have seen enough live wrestling shows up front, close and personal. It's like when I officiated football. I was a head linesman and line judge. Now when I watch football, I watch it on TV as if I'm still that head linesman and line judge.
Yeah.
But we've been around wrestling enough and seen enough live wrestling in our days together that now when we watch on TV or we watch something that was just an obvious, like we talked about it last week, right? Trish's forearm when she attacked Becky. I mean,
missed by a mile.
Right?
Wasn't there one that Trish missed this past week?
That's what he just.
That's what I was just talking about. Was when she attacked Becky.
Oh, I thought you sent Lee.
No.
Okay.
So things like that we catch up because we see it. We have the eyes of it. But the style of wrestling that I think Brett is. Look, I'm okay with blood or the Crimson Mask as a shock and awe kind of thing in a match.
Not every week.
Not every week. Not every match.
Exactly.
John Moxley now, who I love, okay, as both Dean and John. But the blood is expected now almost every week in his matches. And that's what takes away from, oh my God, he's busted open. Like, I mean, look, we all laugh at Nia Jax for punching Becky and breaking her nose. But what it turned into, because the blood was unexpected, obviously she had to recover, but the unexpected shot of the blood, that's what created the man. And I think that type of wrestling, I think that's maybe what Brett might be thinking, is that stuff's taking away from just... It's too much. It's overdone. It's diluted.
I think we talked about this match before, and help me out. Dr. Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa. I think, you didn't expect a match like that, but to see the Crimson,
that
was a good match.
Now it's almost to the point you turn on Dynamite and you're like, I wonder how Moxley's going to bleed this week.
Right, exactly. His forehead's going to look like Dusty Rhodes at some point from all the bleeding. And Abdullah the Butcher, which is another segue here in a moment. I agree. Too much flippy shit takes away from, and I realize, again, flippy stuff should be more of that shock and awe movement, like, oh my God. But if you're doing the majority of your match with that, I got to imagine the shine of every flippy move gets lost, in my opinion.
If you're going to do the flippy stuff, go down to Mexico and learn from the best. Go down and learn from the guys.
Absolutely.
That way you're going to be safe in the ring when you're doing it.
Totally agree. I just don't want to see anybody gets, like you just alluded to, get severely injured. I don't want to see Dominic Mysterio doing his frog splash is fine and all that. But I don't want to see him wrestle like a luchador. You guys are 100% correct. He's not built for that.
No.
And if you try to change that, he can get hurt, and he can hurt the person he's in the ring with if he's not doing it well. The leg slap, though, let me ask you this question. We all admit that the sound accentuates the visual, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have the leg slap, and everybody knows quickly the hands are going up, whatever, how else can you portray that move to be so well done, like a Shawn Michaels,
The costume makes the noise for you, not your leg.
Yeah, but not everybody wrestles in full tights, but they're still doing it though.
They were a lot better at hiding it, like for a long time, and now I think it's just Like they kind of noticed it. Now everyone's like, oh, they know we do it, so they're just
Let's
like,
just
screw
do
it,
right?
And it's like super obvious now.
Right. Because without some of the shots, without sweet chin music, and you hear the accentuated sound, I don't know if these moves would go over as well without that extra sound. You know what I'm saying?
It makes it pop more, and definitely it makes the crowd pop.
That's
the
where I'm
whole
looking
point
for.
of it.
Right. The oohs and the ahs and all that
The
stuff.
only thing that like legit bothers me is when there's like a near fall and like you see the guy on the ground and they're just
He's looking at
staring
the
at the
referee.
referee.
Yes,
that bugs the shit out of me.
That's been more prominent now for pin counts. Yeah.
With the eyes.
Well, you know,
But
I would hope though
You know.
these wrestlers should have pretty good peripheral vision. If they have peripheral vision to some degree, they wouldn't have to like
exactly.
Even then, like just the referee's like cadence of counting 3, you should know when to kick. Like,
Correct.
Right off that, you don't have to sit there and be like,
the vibration of the match should tell
be
you
like,
what
is he
numbers
gonna
are.
win? And then you just look at him and he just.
Well, you know, you go back to it again, though, as we said, you go back to it again. You see a guy laying on his back for a 2 count. The camera's on his face by the producer. So you see him looking at the ref, you know, peripherally, and when the hand gets close, he bounces out.
I want to go to 2 YouTube comments that just came in.
Okay,
Chris
go ahead.
on YouTube.
Go ahead.
Leg slap and the receiver spits his gum. That sells it for him. And then he has another comment up there I see coming up about MMA fighters need to slap the leg. He loves that extra sound. The only difference is we have a padded glove on. You're not going to get that same sound. But you know what? When you see everybody speculates when they spit the gum out, oh my God, he just knocked a tooth out for in the front row. I get that. That's not a bad thought when you see that come out. That's accentuating the contact. Sorry. So go back to your thought. I want to recognize Chris from YouTube chiming in on that. I thought it was
Whose
good.
comments?
Oh no, you guys! I stopped you from. You had a thought. You got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. But
Pay attention.
yeah, pay attention to my own show while we're on it.
I just think a lot of it's got to do with the camera people.
Production. I agree.
Okay.
I agree. But that production now, I hate to say it, but back in the day, they didn't have as much technology and they didn't have all this extra film equipment to be able to get every angle. Right. So you're right. I mean, you got so many cameras now, not only at ringside. Well, how many ringside?
How many cameras
right.
were there on,
at ringside?
Down the ramp and at ringside?
At least 4 or 5.
Right. Probably one on each side, right? At the very least. And then one probably ready to go up the ramp. And then didn't they, it wasn't WWE, but I think it was WCW. One of them had that camera over the ring.
And they have like
On the
2 guys
Kimball.
at like ringside, and then there was like another crew that went up the ramp.
Right.
And then they had like the swinging camera that like.
The one that was on the circle.
Yeah.
Oh, that pans the crowd.
And then they have the hard cam.
Okay.
There's a bunch.
Yeah. So
plus, even then, like recently, now you're in like 1080p, like HD on
Right.
TV.
Yeah. The visual is much more sharper to see this stuff. Here's another give for me on a pin, and I don't know if you guys see it. Like we were talking about the pin, right? The guy's arms out like this, 1, 2. But I have seen most of the time when you know the pin is coming, the person being pinned, the pinner sweeps their arms under them to close their arms in so they don't have that flexibility to just lift the shoulder. And it doesn't happen all the time, but I would say probably 8 out of 10 times. When you see them sweep the arms under the pin, and that's when you know I've seen you get the 3 count at that point to close the match. That's another tell that I've picked up on. It could just be me. I don't know if that's
Notice when Brock like usually like pins somebody, he usually grabs both legs.
right and rolls them up. Right. Used to be only needed one leg to secure the pin, right? Because then we always said, oh, he didn't hook the leg to get the full count. Hook the one leg, you still don't get the full count.
I've never understood how like grabbing somebody's leg holds their shoulders down extra hard, but in wrestling logic, it makes sense, I guess.
Sense.
But
it's
in general, I have no idea.
Supposedly, if you think about it, it's the role of the body weight of the person pinning that should keep the pressure down. But if it's not, if
you're high enough and like you cradle them like that, but they were just like,
no, you're right.
This will hold them down for sure.
Right. Sunset flips. When was the last time you saw a sunset flip get a pin?
It's been a while.
I can't even think of one. Because it's right 1, 2, and all of a sudden they both jump out. Right.
There was one not too long ago where I thought they were going to win. And they got out of it like before they were like supposed to, and it just looked weird.
Yeah, but again, all the cameras, the sharpness of the cameras now, and all that stuff, like you were talking about. Don't worry, we'll get it. Don't worry about it. Makes for a different ability to watch wrestling on TV.
Yeah.
Now, if you're up in the rafters at WrestleMania, let's say, okay, and botches are happening, you're
You
really
couldn't
not.
tell.
You can't. But when you're close,
You
and
look
you're
like
in a-
ants.
or you're it's true. But if you're an experienced wrestling attendee like we are for live events, we could sit up in the rafters, and I bet we'd still be able to pick out when something happens.
Or
Right?
they walk around with hoodies on.
That's
If you put like a hat or sunglasses on somebody, suddenly they're unrecognizable.
Well, it worked for Clark Kent all those years.
I got two notes here.
Yes.
One, Ricochet, I think's the best high flyer in wrestling right now.
Facts.
Okay. Second one, you started to allude to it. We don't see enough wrestling holds in wrestling matches anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When's the last time you seen a
Hammerlock.
hammerlock?
Right, hammerlock. Yep.
Or a step over toe hold,
Mm-hmm.
or what was the one you said?
Oh, sunset flip.
A sunset flip.
You see them, but not for the win. Coming off the ropes, they'll do it, but you don't get the win.
But you don't see it a lot anymore.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You don't. How about a headlock?
Well, don't usually after the collar and elbow tie-ups, somebody's
Those are
in the
usually
headlock.
like the rest holds for
Right.
the next.
Right. It's the rear chin lock.
When they're talking.
Right, exactly.
When
The
they're
rear
talking,
chin lock.
what
Right,
we're gonna
exactly.
do next.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
We don't see that.
No.
You know, to me, and I respect Brett's opinion.
Mm-hmm.
To me, I think we see way too much high flying stuff, and God forbid, I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to see somebody break their neck.
Right.
And I think that's
Well, look at what happened at WrestleMania with Charlotte on that second suplex where she landed face first. I took a huge breath at home watching it, hoping that, thank God it was only nothing more than a little scratch opening and whatnot. But my God, when you see some of the stuff, you wonder how anybody can stand up. I mentioned Jeff Bearden a few minutes ago.
yes.
He just wrote a book, by the way. It's out and available now. It's called Behind the Makeup. And it's his story about obviously being in wrestling and all the different personas he had. The Tiger, he had the Giant Warrior. He actually had Justin Gabriel, as he was known in the WWE. He's good friends with Justin Gabriel.
Right.
He actually wrote the forward, the
PJ
introduction. PJ Black. He wrote the opening introduction to the book for him.
That's awesome.
So check it out. It's on Amazon. Behind the Makeup.
I got it.
I got my copy in the mail the other day.
that out.
So yeah, check that out. So Jeff, I'm going to reach out to him, see if maybe we can get him on the shows again. Exactly, talk about the book. So, all right. So I wanted to mention that. Lastly, before we move on, Dark Side of the Ring announces season 4, which should cover Chris Candido, Tommy Sitch, Sonny, Magnum TA, Abdullah the Butcher, Marty Jannetty, and I saw some descriptions of the Marty Jannetty episode that it is wild. That's the only word that somebody kept using in the statement about that episode.
I wonder why.
I can put a power play chapter in there. I can put a CAC chapter in there.
You know,
I got my own like Marty Jannetty wild story.
Exactly.
You knew exactly where I was going.
Wasn't there an episode, though, that already included Abdullah the Butcher a couple of seasons ago? I thought there was one.
Good.
Or some biography-like show. It may not have been Dark Side of the Ring. It may have been one of the AEW biographies like they run now, separate from the Dark Side stuff.
Could have been.
But they did something with that. So that's what they have coming up so far for season 4.
I want to see the Chris Candido and Tammy. I want to see that one. That to me should have some interesting stuff in it.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. Who else would you like to see an episode done on that they haven't done yet?
Who's Vince McMahon?
Do you really think we'd ever see the true stories come out? You know, he won't appear on it, I'm sure.
No.
So it would all be fabricated and hearsay stories, right?
Well, hell yeah. I mean, he fabricated shit when he was before, going to court for
the steroids.
Yeah, steroid.
Right.
Yeah. But I wouldn't mind. Yeah, I'd like to see that. You know who I would like to see? Other than that, Linda McMahon.
That would be interesting.
I'd like to hear what she's got to say.
Vince probably wouldn't.
What the hell's the difference?
I know that. You know what? That's a great. I like that one. I like Linda McMahon. That would be interesting because they're married but separated, and they live their own. They're not separated legally, but they really pretty much living their own lives.
Yep.
You know, really ever since she got into politics. I think when they started having to, when she went to Washington so much.
I'd like to see Baby Doll.
Yeah, I met her at CAC last time I was there.
I'd like to see what she would have to say about the business, the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, her former husband Sam Houston,
right?
It
was Jake's brother, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Jake's brother, and what's Jake's sister's name? She was still living, Angela Lansbury.
That's wild. I was going to say the same thing.
Wow.
See, great minds think alike, man.
Well, last segment you wouldn't know that they were working together, but they did.
I didn't know.
That's actually a very good one, though. I like that. That is a very good one. If she was still alive, interesting. All right, we're going to step aside for a break at the second hour. We got a lot still to do. We got birthdays. We got more topics. We barely covered not even a 20th of the run sheet today because our conversation is terrific.
Oh, you know something? No, I'll save it.
Okay.
I'll save it.
All right. Write it down so you don't forget it.
Pop culture.
Gotcha. All right. With that, you're watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
This is the story of one man's incredible journey from 350 to 200-pound weight loss and his mission to help and inspire others. Aaron Phillips. People are praising Aaron's new book with 5-star reviews. Aaron's various humorous and wildly entertaining stories portray his rise as a sports announcer, his encounters with exotic and irregular entertainers on the Las Vegas Strip through his long-running Vegas Unwrapped radio show, and his contagious and positive style of pursuing success. Call now or visit our website or Amazon now to get your copy of Let My Voice Speak to You, stories from a Hall of Fame radio personality. Order now.
Hi, I'm George Miklos.
Hi, I'm Rick Upchurch.
Hi, I'm Aaron Phillips, and we are
The Round Table.
Check us out.
Thursdays at 4 p.m. Pacific Time Live.
On Facebook page as well as WWDB-TV. All right, we're back. Woo! All right. We got so much to do. Where do you guys want to where do you guys want to go next? You want to make some predictions of Rebellion? Where do you want to go? Just pick your topics. Pick a topic. Any topic you want.
Jeff Hardy returned to Dynamite.
All right. Jeff Hardy returned to Dynamite. Very limited role, though, because he's still recovering from that eye surgery, according to reports. That he may appear on TV for a couple of weeks, but he's not going to wrestle. Good thing for Jeff? Is this a final shot for Jeff? What do you think?
I like what Matt put. Is this his last chance?
Mm-hmm.
I was always taught 3 strikes and you're out.
Well, he's got like 10.
Steve Howe in baseball got 8.
He's still pitching.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh no! Who's the guy to pitch for Boston? The lefty, the crazy guy.
Bill Lee?
Yeah, he's pitching with the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah, I have no idea if that's coming to happen with us yet.
That guy likes CBD too.
Yes.
But anyway, no.
We digressed.
Yeah, I did digress.
You digressed. Yes, you did.
All right,
Jeff Hardy.
No, seriously, I, you guys know how I feel. I hope Jeff got the help that he needed. I hope Jeff reaches out to Big Bill when he needs to. And I hope to see Jeff Hardy in the wrestling ring till he retires. But if Jeff Hardy screws up, well, don't slap his hand again. Just dismiss him.
See, he was never suspended, though, from AEW during this bout, was he? Whereas he was suspended, I believe, from WWE in the past.
Because he refused treatment by WWE.
Right. That's when he walked out of the ring the last time and ended it, right?
That's why he was suspended.
Gotcha.
Okay. I just hope, and I mean this.
How much more do you think he has left in his tank before he retires, if this is his last run?
How the hell old is he?
I think he's got a couple years in him, maybe.
Okay.
As long as he doesn't do the crazy high flying.
Yeah, I think he's got to start, changing some things up physically, because that falls right in line with what we were talking about. He's got to be pushing 40.
They say everybody's got a bump card. You can only take so many of them.
And you know what? Randy Orton's a great example of that. All the years of doing the RKO, and he admittedly, thousands of RKOs is what screwed up his back.
That's like Hulk Hogan and messed up his hips doing all them leg drops.
That's right. Yeah. Wasn't picking up Andre.
I couldn't imagine like doing them swantons daily. It's good for you.
No, absolutely. And he's not a big muscular guy. What you got?
He's 46.
Okay. And that's not that far behind.
He was born August 31st, 1977.
Okay. Can you check Matt's age while you're in there, just out of curiosity?
Sure, I can.
So, listen, Jeff is exciting. Both Jeff and Matt, they work well together. They're an exciting tag team.
Matt's 48.
That's 48. Okay. So all right. So both of them, listen, I have felt that Matt himself, when you look at him in the ring the last couple of years, maybe he had physically had issues, but it looked like he works very stiff in the ring. Yeah. His legs just seem to move very stiff and tight. So I think Matt has been on the backside of his career the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And Jeff, maybe the two of them get a quick run together. Do they need a belt anymore? I don't think so. I think people just want to see the Hardy brothers in the ring for whatever time they can be in it. And then I think if Jeff has an opportunity to retire the way that he wants to, then I agree. Then I think it's a matter of putting the boots in the center of the ring, thanking everybody, and off you go.
I think with supposedly FTR signing a new contract, 4-year contract, and that's supposed to be their last run. At this point in time, do we see the Hardys and FTR maybe down the road for a championship match one more time? I don't know.
Possibly, but I wouldn't see the Hardy Boys winning the match to get the titles.
I think the Hardys are far past their prime, and they're like a nostalgia act at this point.
I agree. I
love the Hardy Boys. Like they're like still one of my favorite tag teams ever. Yeah. And I will pop like crazy every time they come out. But they don't need the tag titles. They should probably help the younger tag teams get like developed and
It's like when we had Matt out here, wrestling out here a few times. He's one of the nicest guys I've met.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Right. Well, we had him on. We interviewed him on the phone a while back, didn't we?
Yeah.
Courtesy of Scott helping us getting him on the phone.
It must have been before me.
It might have
seriously.
No, it might have been.
I think it was.
Yeah.
But yeah. So listen.
Really nice guy.
Oh, absolutely,
really nice guy.
Absolutely. Look, the bottom line is this: we're not knocking Jeff because what he has is something that obviously has to be taken care of and handled and treated properly. And I was delicately trying to say the right words, and so Chief can certainly understand what he's going through.
Yep.
Fortunately, though, you only needed one time to do what you needed to do to get healthy.
Yep.
He's had multiple times, but maybe this is it. Maybe he needed to hit rock bottom enough times. But how many times is enough time when you finally have to say, hey, look, when are you going to learn your lesson? Hopefully.
I just hope he gets off that Scott Hall road and veers off into bettering his life.
Let him go down to DDP for a while.
There you go.
No, seriously. Maybe it only took me one time.
Yeah.
But I've got friends that have, in Jeff's case, 3 or 4 times, 5 times, and it takes them that long till they do hit that. But the one thing I've always said, and I'll continue to say, professional wrestling WWE, AEW, whoever, they do afford them the opportunity to go to treatment.
Sure.
But 30 days, 60 days, 90 days isn't going to do it.
Well, it's a lifetime, isn't it?
In my belief, you have to go into a treatment facility for at least 6 months. At least.
Okay.
6 months.
And then after that, though,
then it's the rest of your life.
It's the rest of your life, but you're still sort of. Please understand where this question is coming from.
No. You can ask me anything.
After those 6 months, or after whatever period someone needs treatment.
Sure.
Is it a continued recovery program for life?
Yes.
That's the point I was
making.
making.
And that's why I said. That's why I made the comment. If Jeff needs something, go see Big Bill.
Right.
You know who Big Bill is?
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about.
I'm sure if you tell me, I'll go, oh, yeah, but.
Morrissey. So you went through, like the same thing.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
but I think like no matter how long the program is or like how long you're in there, it literally depends. Like if you're going in there to save your job, or if you're going in there to better your life, Because if you're just going there to save your job, something's going to end up happening again.
Sure.
But if like you hit rock bottom and you directly want to save your life, you're going to take it a whole lot more serious.
Especially if you got a family too.
Yeah. And that's a great point. You have to be mentally prepared to do it for the right reasons.
Man, you know, we're talking about, I'm going to tell you, when I went into treatment X amount of years ago, okay, I was in with a group. And the way it was broke up, there was 6 groups. And I was in my group. And man, I denied I had a problem. I denied I had a problem. I didn't have a problem. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
Well, you know what? One Friday night, we went into a room and we had these, you know, those big ass boxing gloves?
Yeah.
The huge ones.
The fake ones.
Yeah, we put them on, man, and they beat the living shit out of me. I'm telling you the truth.
Sure.
But you know what? I finally admitted I had a problem.
Well,
and once I admitted it, I got all the hugs and loves and cares, and man, I got on with my life. And you know what? It was like
weight lifted off my shoulders.
Weight was lifted off my shoulders.
Well, there is an old saying, and you just hit on it. The first step to recovery of anything
is admitting that you got a problem.
That's right. If you can't admit it to yourself that you have an issue, you're like, and this is exactly what you talked about. If you're not doing it the right way, if you don't admit you have a problem, a bigger scale, and you go into recovery, family's not important, because the wrong thing is you're admitting it because you want to save your job. 2 different things. You have to admit you have that problem for the betterment of yourself as a person, right? I've never experienced it, but I'm seeing it from the outside that once you get yourself right, then doesn't everything more or less kind of fall back into place?
Yeah. I mean, it was funny because when I was in treatment in Charleston, South Carolina, I was still getting paid. The Navy was still paying me.
Gotcha.
And yeah, there were certain things I had to do. I had to go to meetings and everything like that. And I was held accountable. And when I went back to work, after almost 8 months, my bosses asked me, do you want to come back to work at the command you're at now? Will you feel comfortable there, or will you be embarrassed because of what happened?
Right.
And I said, no, I won't be embarrassed. I said, in fact, I want to come back and show them how I really am now that I am clean and sober. So,
you have to have things to prove to yourself along the way too, like you were just talking about, right?
It'll be 40 years this year.
40 years. Wonderful.
1983. Yeah,
absolutely.
I'm not for the claps.
No, of course.
But
Yeah, you don't want the clap.
No.
You have ointment for that.
The stuff in your shit. Yeah, no, hell no. I saw enough of that. Anyway, but we talk about. That was good, John. I like that. But we talk about helping out,
right?
And that's why I put out there, Jeff, if you need Big Bill,
Right.
He's got a couple years now.
Right.
He can help you out.
Right.
And that's how it is. And, you know, I used to tell people, you know, if you get in a bad situation, all you got to do is open the damn telephone book up.
Right. Telephone book? What's that?
There's meetings in every freaking city.
2023, the phone book is now called Google.
Well, yeah, that's true. But see, back in the day when Bruno had to say it. No, you know, we used to say, just open the damn phone book up.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a meeting in every city.
Right.
And if you don't have a way to get there, you call the meeting. Somebody's going to come get your ass and take you to the meeting.
Absolutely. There's no excuses unless you give your own. One last topic before we go to our final break of the show, before we get into birthdays and everything else. Big return on SmackDown last night. Person we haven't seen in a long time, Mr. Shinsuke Nakamura makes his return. Pretty much, Madcap Moss was his jobbing victim, so to speak, a word that nobody likes to hear in the wrestling industry.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, a vignette apparently hit the screen. Yeah. Something, I don't know, TikTok or something.
Some tarot card.
Some tarot card. Yeah. So it would appear a feud is going to brew and happen between Mr. Karrion Kross and one Shinsuke Nakamura.
Down the road.
Take my money.
Yeah. I hope it happens out here in Vegas so we get to see Karrion wrestle Vince.
What he said.
Anyway, you know, change gears for a minute. We was talking about Carney earlier.
Yeah.
We have a good friend. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have a good friend, Mr. Sin Bodhi, who I would say in his career used to be Kazarni in the WWE, and the way Sin dresses up.
Well, we have him on one of our commercial promos.
Sometimes I think he knows Carney.
When Jeff and I talked about that on that show we did,
yes, sir.
Sin was our guest on the air when we were. That's why I brought it up.
So
yeah,
okay, and I didn't know that.
No.
But I would say Sin would probably be a good one. I don't think Sin would talk about, but I can tell you this. Last Christmas, I was at a wrestling show out here, and I happened to win the shirt that Sin was wearing in the ring. So, you know me, like a crazy ass I am, you know, Joe and Rocky think, well, he'll stay outside and Sin will come out and give it to him. Hell no, man. I slid under the bottom rope and I went in the ring, right? Sin gets me in the hole.
Right.
And we're talking. He says, I'm going to turn around and I'm going to try to kick you. And he says, I want you to grab my leg when it happens. Nobody saw us talking.
Right.
So I say, okay. So we're there and we're goofing, and all of a sudden he turns around, puts the leg up, and I grab it, and it's like, oh shit, they're really going to do something. And so I washed the shirt. Sin signed it. I since had it all authenticated.
Nice.
Hanging up.
Nice.
And yeah. And you know, it's nice that we're afforded the opportunity to see these wrestlers.
Right.
So
well, talk to Sin. We need to get him on the show at some point.
You know what? I think the taco, what's today?
As we check that out, we have to go to our final break of the show. When we come back, we're going to touch on a couple of last topics, pop culture, birthdays. We got a lot to do in 20 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Next Saturday.
This is your warlord of weird, Sin Bodhi, and you are watching Thoughts Count Anywhere right here on Facebook, Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. Pacific Coast time. Stay tuned. Do I look like I'm clowning around? Buddy, I'm Aaron Phillips, and I am with the legend. And Sabu, you were telling me earlier about a special wrestling show that you really like, and that is what? Thoughts Count Anywhere, that's a coincidence. The same show that runs Saturdays, 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific, right here on Facebook. You better listen to the man to watch.
Okay. Hi, everybody. Aaron Phillips here, inviting you to join me every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. right here on Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV on my show, Aaron's Hour with Aaron Phillips. I bring to you the movers and shakers of Las Vegas and really all around the world. It's also fun, entertaining, silly, goofy, informative, everything you'd want to be entertained by on a Saturday, except no politics, no religion. As I said, it's designed to be a fun show. Remember, that's every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. Pacific, right here, Aaron's Hour, Worldwide Digital Broadcasting TV. Hey, everybody! Welcome back. What's up? What?
Yeah!
Well, absolutely. Hey, a couple of things in case you haven't noticed or heard. UW 4? UW 4. Come on.
UW
4. Their next show is going to be in LA, June 26th or 5th, whatever that Saturday is.
The Rialto?
No, at the Globe.
June 25th.
June 25th at the Globe Theater. Tickets went on sale about 40 minutes ago. Go to UWFed.com for ticket information, so check it out. We're hoping that TCA gets the call to travel out there for the show. Would be fun.
UW 4.
And then I know Vegas is back on the hit list, and then I quickly saw something on the East Coast, but not confirmed.
Nope.
But LA, June 25th, so check that out.
Right.
We'd love to go support them. What else do we have to announce? May. Ronald's company down in Florida. Why am I blanking on the name with Gary Galaxy?
Hey, Ronald.
He's out putting flyers out. I think somewhere in the chat room earlier.
Bananas.
But no, not the Savannah.
Hold on.
May.
I'll get back.
May
to you,
9th
man.
is
Keep going.
Backlash. So I think it's like that week before or after, but it's in May. I know that. So check out that. He was out putting flyers up for that show. Remember, hashtag YMWF. Check it out 3 shows ago. You'll know what we're referring to. What else? I think that's pretty much it. Should we go to birthdays? Or you want to hit another topic or two before birthdays? Matt, pick us a topic. Let's do another topic.
What main event would AEW have to put on to fill Wembley Stadium?
Did you see the story I sent you this morning on chat? As of right now, AEW has 50,000 tickets confirmed.
Oh, yeah, I
pre-sale.
did see that. Yeah.
50, and we talked on the show that if they hit 50 or about midway of Wembley, that would be considered a good, a successful
for sure.
show, right? So they're at 50,000 as it was supposedly reported by PW Insider.
That's only people that put on their email that they want to know about tickets.
Right.
Well, it doesn't necessarily mean 50,000 people are going to buy tickets.
Right. But at least there's 50,000 people who are interested.
Yeah.
Exactly. So what would be a main event to sell out Wembley? That's a great question. That's a great question. Of course, in my mind,
that's why I thought of it.
MJ.
Go ahead.
We're all loaded with great questions.
Go ahead.
I think one half of the card has to include MJF
Okay.
in that main event.
MJF versus Moxley.
There'll be blood all over the stadium from Moxley.
I think the one main event that would fill the place would be CM Punk and FTR versus the Elite.
Wow. I know, reports came out that supposedly CM Punk and all that, they're talking and having negotiations behind the scenes allegedly at AEW. CM Punk, wow.
If they want to fill Wembley Stadium, CM Punk has to be on the show. He's still the biggest name in that company.
Wow. That's an interesting thought. A six-person tag match is the main event.
And then they have All Out the next week, and then you do the tag match, and then Kenny versus CM Punk.
That means then, okay, so think about this. So for a second, that means that again, it's just forecasting and predicting fantasy matches. But if that were the case, let's say that 6-man is on the main event, what does that do to the value of the heavyweight championship for AEW? Shouldn't a heavyweight championship match be a main event?
It should. But
CM
Punk versus the Elite's a bigger story. It's kind of like
because who's
the
MJF
tag match
feuding
of
with
night one of WrestleMania. The tag match was the main event
Right.
over everything. It's a bigger story.
Sammy
you're right.
Guevara and Jungle Boy and
That's who
Darby
MJF is
Allin.
feuding with right now?
Yeah, the 3 of them.
Oh, okay.
And MJF.
See, that doesn't excite me.
That's the rumored main event for Double or Nothing. though.
How about Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa 2?
Need a title.
If Thunder Rosa's back, it's better at some point.
What do you think about that one?
Without
That'd
a
be
title?
a good match, but I don't
Without
think
a title?
Yeah.
Should Thunder Rosa go against the current champ?
Or Jamie Hayter? How about Jamie Hayter against Britt Baker?
That's a good one.
Or,
Yeah.
Or Jamie Hay. No, I won't bring that one up.
No,
because
go ahead.
No, I hear the first thing out of my. Well, she ain't been there 8 months.
She hasn't been here 8 months. Who are you talking about?
Jamie and Taya.
Yeah, that'd be good too.
Do you think
I'm not the one that cares about people being there 8 months and there every week?
Do you think Taya's going? Do you think Taya's going to beat what's her name though for the belt?
Jade?
Baker
No.
Street?
No.
Baker Street? No.
I got to be honest with you. What I saw when we saw her back at Sam's Town and all that, we saw her at the show.
Goodyear blimp.
It did nothing to. I was surprised. I was underwhelmed by what I saw that weekend.
I think the biggest draw match they can do for like Wembley Stadium for a women's match would be Jade versus Britt Baker.
That'd be a good match.
Because everyone would suspect the streak might be over.
That'd be a good match.
Right. What is she up to now? What's her win streak?
It's like 52, 53.
What about champion versus champion? Jade against Jamie.
Yeah, that too.
Why not? Night of Champions kind of thing.
Be all right.
I think the only way they're going to legit sell out is if Drew McIntyre actually leaves and he somehow debuts at Wembley Stadium.
Do you think he will? Do you think he will? Seriously.
No.
I'm just asking.
Why would he take, unless it's part of a line, why would he take WWE off his social media page?
Contract negotiations to scare the shit out of him that he might actually leave.
The only thing I think, though, Drew used to be Vince's boy.
Right.
And I cannot see, well, Vince has only got 49%, but I'm sure he can still write a contract. And
he's running WWE pretty much.
And I would hope, and I'm just speculating here, but I would hope Vince would want to write him or give him a decent contract with a raise.
Especially what he did during the pandemic era.
For everything.
He still needs to get that moment in front of tens of thousands of fans.
For everything he's done for,
absolutely.
For WWE.
Same way Bayley should be recognized for what she did during that. It was Bayley and McIntyre during that time that kept WWE interesting.
Yeah.
And I don't think Bayley has gotten her, I don't want to say comeuppance, that's the wrong word, her recognition the way she should have.
Are they breaking the girls up?
Yes, I think so.
And I heard
Bayley bailed the other night. I'll say she bailed. She's not happy Vince is back. And she made it publicly known.
I'm not saying I believe the dirt sheets. All right, but that's the best thing we've got. And does Bayley walk away? Does Drew walk away? Are there other, Cesaro walked away.
Right. I would say between Drew and Bayley, if we're just going to talk about this, I think there's a better chance Bayley walks away and joins Sasha Banks, Mercedes Moné, whatever she's called. Because we know how tight they are, whether it's New Japan or whatever. If they maybe together, they go to AEW or they go to Impact.
Those two draw money wherever they go.
Exactly. And then throw Naomi in that mix. Because Naomi and Sasha, as we know, were tag title holders. You got two ladies out there, Naomi and Bayley. But I think of the two, Bayley and Drew, I think Bayley would be most likely to bail, so to speak.
I think WWE's trying to cover their butt. I was just reading something.
Okay, talk to me.
Tony Khan or Nick Khan just did an interview like within the last day or two that said Vince McMahon sent out a company-wide email saying that Triple H is going to remain the sole chief creative officer and that McMahon himself will not be seeking any input in creative decisions.
Effective what?
Apparently, after the whole fiasco of the Raw after WrestleMania, I guess he stepped back because he pissed a lot of people off that day.
Yeah, but I read, again, dirt sheet article, whatever you want to call it. He supposedly changed verbiage in promos as recently as last night's SmackDown.
So I don't know.
Well, there again, what do we believe? What do we not believe?
The best thing is whether we believe it or not, it gives us conversation. Otherwise, we wouldn't have to be on the air. So keep it coming, folks.
Absolutely.
The only way I'm going to believe it is you see who gets pushed on these shows.
Absolutely.
Triple H has his own guys and Vince has his own
guys. Absolutely. All right, we got about 10 minutes left, so let's head off to some birthdays.
Happy birthday.
Because this list today, it's...
Ciudad Amsterdam.
Happy birthday.
If you're celebrating a birthday today, April 15th through next Friday, the 21st. Today, April 15th, you're celebrating with Austin Aries. April 16th, I love this one, George the Animal Steele. Nobody would believe that he was a professor at a college and primarily wrestled more full-time in the summer when he couldn't teach.
And he was also the coach at that college
Yes.
of their wrestling team.
That's right. Vicky Guerrero, happy birthday. Paul London, Mia Yim, Damian Kane, and Drake Brewer. On April 17th, Nails, the rowdy one, Roddy Piper, Bandito, Asia, Jason Porcaro, and Dasha Fuentes. Big list on that day. Holy cow, what went on 9 months prior? April 18th, one of the best, I don't want to use the J word because people hate that, but one of the best, he should be in the Hall of Fame for the way he helped promote other talent.
I'll say one of the best jobbers in the business.
Brooklyn Brawler. There should be a wing in the Hall of people like Brooklyn Brawler. Steve, what's his real? Steve,
yeah.
I can't think
Lombardi?
of his. That's it. That's his real name. People like that.
Mike
Barry
Jackson,
Horowitz. Mike Jackson. There should be a whole wing for people who developed others in the ring like that as quote unquote jobbers because their value is undervalued.
Yep.
April 19th, Roxy, Charlie Morgan, Jake Carter, Maxine. Oh, and Ox Baker. When I see his name, all I think of is mustache. April 20th, Johnny the Bull, Kurt Hawkins, and Garrett Bischoff. There's an interesting one.
Yep.
And April 21st, Brutus the Barber, Beefcake, Nikki Cross, Axel Rotten, Polish Power, Ivan Putski, and Orlando Jordan. Happy birthday to all of you and all of you celebrating a birthday with them. And again, please go to our Thoughts Count Anywhere Facebook page. If you have a birthday, wedding, bar mitzvah, bas mitzvah, whatever it is, a bris, whatever you want us to announce or just a shout out, please post it there. This way we could pick it up and we'll be happy to announce it. I remember Putski, when I first saw him, he was heavy. He was way out of shape when I first saw him.
Polish Power.
That's right. And then all of a sudden he disappears. And boy, when he came back, he was chiseled out of marble. And it's like, it's like he took off a fat suit.
Yeah.
And came out and built like there was no tomorrow. And that Polish hammer, baby, that was his move. That finished it right in the heart. People didn't kick out of that one in those days. You got that hammer in the chest, man. You were done.
Ox Baker, the heart punch.
Oh, yes. Who also did the heart? Didn't Stan Stasiak?
Stasiak.
Right?
Ox would come out. He'd have about that much tape, about that much
layers
tape on his hand.
Right.
And then he'd give it this.
Yep.
I remember we did it to Dusty Rhodes once. Dusty put the elbow on his ass and knocked him out.
Yeah, my goodness. So listen, that list, I might want to frame that list because some of the names on there are just tremendous. All right, we have about 8 minutes left. So
where are we going?
Let's make some quick Rebellion predictions. You want to do that for Impact? Yeah. Since they are our buddies, back page. And then let's announce this now. Our very own Las Vegas Golden Knights. They are the champions of the Pacific Division. Congratulations.
Right.
To the Knights. Let's see what that means moving forward.
They play Monday night.
Do they? They start. Who are they playing against in the opening series? Winnipeg Jets.
The Winnipeg Jets.
We know that ultimately, and I don't know how the brackets will fall out, but boy, if we get down to San Jose and the Knights again, there's a great rivalry between the San Jose Sharks and our Knights.
I hate the goddamn Sharks.
The Sharks are not in the playoffs.
They didn't make it?
No.
Okay, well, there you go. So we shouldn't hear from Desert Shark.
The Sharks were the worst team in the NHL this year.
Were they really?
Yes.
That is interesting why we don't hear much from Shant about the Sharks, and now I know why. All right, Rebellion predictions. This is Impact. Impact World Wrestling, since Josh Alexander had to give it up. Steve Macklin takes on Kushida. Quick predictions.
I say Steve Macklin.
I think Steve Macklin, since I'm pretty sure he's going to beat Josh at the pay-per-view anyway.
All right, let's make it a hat trick on that one. All right, Knockouts World Title Championship. We didn't really touch on this, but Mickie James had to vacate the belt this past week due to an alleged rib injury, I believe is what it was. Questions surround, is the last rodeo over? Did she retire? I don't think so. I think when she's healed, I think she'll want to go back after her belt because she didn't really lose it. But that being said, Deonna Purrazzo versus, I love this, cracked me up, versus Jordan Grace. So that means you're picking Deonna Purrazzo, right? I'm guessing.
Oh, yes. When Mickie James tried to say she was the best in the locker room, I was like, you can't say that when Deonna Purrazzo's next to you.
There you go. Chief, Purrazzo Grace.
That's a tough one.
Not really.
I'm going Jordan Grace.
Okay. See, I'm torn with this one because Deanna Parazzo, being a Jerseyite, as I had an
I know.
opportunity to meet her at
And she's a
Samstown.
very nice young lady.
She absolutely is.
Well, they both
I'm just saying one was on your show and one refused to come to the whole event. I'm just saying.
Well, then I'll have to pick Deanna for that. Then there you go.
What did I miss?
Well, Jordan Grace didn't want to come to the signings and stuff at Samstown.
Oh, she did.
No.
You mean upstairs?
Yeah.
Well, wait a minute. I'm changing then to Deanna. The hell with that shit.
All right. Hardcore War, Team Dreamer versus Team Bully. I'm going to take Dreamer because I have a picture of him wearing my jacket. And I messaged him via Twitter when he was on Busted Open that following week. I said hello, and I sent him the picture. He gave me a shout out on Busted Open that day.
Hell yeah.
So Tommy Dreamer all the way, baby.
Yep. Yeah, it's Dreamer.
Okay.
I'll go
Team Bully.
All right. There you go. Ultimate X Tag Team Championship, Bullet Club versus MCMG.
You know what? Both teams are good, but I'm going Bullet Club. I'm going with the youth.
Okay.
In this match.
Okay.
Ultimate X, Chris Bay is going to do something out of hand, and it's going to be like highlights all over the week, and they're still going to be tag champs.
Okay. I'm going to take the Bullet Club as well. All right. The Design versus Joe Hendry, Dirty Dango, and Santino Morella. So it's got a tag match there. Dirty Dango, Santino Morella takes on Joe Hendry and the Design versus. So
anytime you see Santino Morello in the ring, that's a winner.
But is that good enough to win the match?
Absolutely.
Think about how he wrestled.
He's
in
going to
WWE.
bring it out.
Maybe I'll wear my snake that he
He's
signed
going
for
to
me.
bring it out.
All right. Matt.
He brought it out on Impact on Thursday.
Yes, he did.
At Pop.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Santino's team's going to win.
Almost the biggest pop is LA Knight.
There you go. Who? Last Rights match, Eddie Edwards versus PCO. I'm still floored when I realized who PCO was from back in the day.
Pierre Carlouet.
That's right. I never would have put
Part
the two
of the
together.
Quebecers.
That's right. The Quebecers. Eddie Edwards, PCO.
PCO.
PCO is still not human. I don't care what anybody says. I don't know what he is, but he's going to get his revenge on Eddie Edwards.
All right. That's a hat trick for all of us. X Division title, Trey Miguel versus Jonathan Gresham versus Mike Bailey. I'm taking Mike Bailey because he impressed the crap out of me when I saw him live in town.
Freaking stole my thunder.
So put you down for Mike.
Trey Miguel.
Miguel.
And still.
No, I was just going to say, is it time Bailey gets pushed now?
Good.
Trey's had the
Because
belt.
he wrestled Jonathan Gresham here in Vegas that night. And
Yeah.
what a hell of a freaking match.
That was a great match.
Holy cow.
Great match.
And that was the undercard. That was for the pre-show on that.
That was a great match.
Totally. I'll tell you what, I've seen Gresham before, but Bailey really impressed me. That's why I'm going to take Bailey on that one. Knockouts tag titles, the Coven versus Death Dolls.
The Coven, just because I like Taylor Wilde.
Okay. I'm going to take the Death Dolls because I like my jacket also in Samstown. I couldn't get them to wear, but I love the jacket.
Is that what's
That's
your name?
Death Dolls.
I think Jessica would have done something to it.
Yeah, Death Dolls.
I wouldn't care if they signed it, whatever they did to it, that would have been fine.
Jessica.
I think your jacket would have been in like multiple pieces.
Yeah.
If they signed a piece of it, that's fine. Like I was wanted to give it to Heath. He said, no, I'll get blood and oil all over it. Dude, if you sign it, trust me, it wouldn't have been worn anyway afterwards. So don't worry about that. All right. Chief. Okay. Last match. Champagne Singh and Shira versus Heath and Rhino. Heath also wore my jacket.
Heath and Rhino, you got to do it for the kids, baby.
Heath had my jacket on. I'm going to go with that.
You know, Singh and Shira haven't had a real push, so I'm going to go with them.
All right. There you go. There you have it. There's our predictions.
I hope they get held up at the airport.
Don't bet your house on our picks. Our picks are just for fun and conversation. All right. We have about a minute or two left. So what do you say we start wrapping up then? What do you think?
Yeah.
Think's good? All right. What you got? You got something interesting.
I got a pop culture.
Pop culture topic. All right.
Saturday, July 22nd at the Las Vegas ballpark.
Up in Summerlin.
It will be
home of the Aviators.
It will be the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Golden Knights for the 4th annual Battle for Vegas charity softball game. Gates open 5:30, home run derby 6:30, first pitch 7:30, and there will be a post-game fireworks show at 9 p.m.
Tickets available how? Does it say in the article?
I'm looking, brother.
Probably worst case scenario, probably on the Aviators
It says
website.
buy tickets.
Click on. Okay, so if you go to that article, where did you find that? You just look it up online. It's under Best of Las Vegas article. You can find the story there. Click buy tickets. It'll probably take you right to Ticketmaster or Box Office.
You guys go to one of those?
Ticketmaster.com. That's where the link will take you. So if you go to Ticketmaster.com, look up the game between the Knights and the Raiders. I wonder if Garoppolo is going to be playing in that game. Ronald, I'm still trying to work on getting the bananas solidified. They're not the greatest at replying to my communication. So I would say right now, at best, literally maybe 50-50, but at this point, I'm not banking on it. He's in the chat room.
Hey, Ronald, give a shout out to your to the wrestling company down there in Florida, buddy.
Put that back in the chat room.
Ballistic.
Yeah, put that back in the chat room
remember
if you would, between him and Gary Galaxy.
Yep.
I'm sure if you go to Ronald's Facebook page, I'm sure the flyer's on there. Anyway, with that, we're going to start wrapping up. Ronald, you can still put in there even after we sign off because it'll be part of the comments moving forward. Great show today. Lots of great conversation. Please visit thoughtscountanywhere.com. Check out the website. And more importantly, check out the shop, or what do you call it? The shop tab, is that what we have on there?
Yeah.
Check that out for all the great merchandise like what we are wearing here. And check it out. All right. Final thoughts.
Where do we play our first game? ESPN?
I think so, yeah.
For the Knights?
Yeah.
On ESPN Monday. All right.
Monday.
Final thoughts, gentlemen. Thunder Championship Wrestling.
There it
Thank
is.
you, Ronald. Check them out. Look it up online. They have a show coming up in May.
Yep.
Final thoughts.
Everybody have a good, safe week. Thanks for tuning in. Share and repost to your friends. And we'll see y'all next week.
We haven't had a contest on our website in a while. We got to come up with one.
Yeah.
Give out some swag.
Hey, real quick shout out to Top Rope Collectibles. Glad all you guys got home safe from Indianapolis.
Yes.
And
Speaking of which, stall for me, Chief.
Okay. And,
Here you go.
And there we go.
Glad you reminded-
I'm glad. Okay, here we go. Big. Sports cards, toys, and collectible show. Sam's Town Hotel and Casino, August 26th and 27th, November 4th and 5th. Put on by our good friend, Mr. Scott Hosey at Power Play Sports and Collectibles.
Absolutely. So check it out, powerplaysportscollectibles.com website, but you have the dates there. We're going to probably be doing our shows there that weekend. Hopefully we'll have a better internet service for that. But yeah, good stuff coming up. Anyway, guys, with that, make sure you join me in an hour on Aaron's Hour. Artist Eric Moore, who, by the way, I've actually met at Unicon last year. He and I have been friends on Facebook for a while. We had an opportunity to meet. He actually had a Batman piece that he did, and he was kind enough to actually, as I'm walking one of the alleys, he calls me over and he gave me that picture, and I have it framed, and we're going to talk about it during Aaron's Hour at the top of the hour.
Oh, wow.
So does he do what do you call them?
Characters? Not from. We have a couple of pictures that we're going to show during the show. I don't think he does characters per se.
Okay.
But that's a great question. I'll be more than happy to ask him when he's on.
Interesting if he could do one of the three of us.
And if not, I do know somebody who can
Mo,
do that.
Larry, and
Mo, Larry, and Carl. I do know somebody who could do that. That may take a lot of negotiation, however. But I'll
Oh yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
See, John
Good
knows
luck
something.
with that. Good luck
That's right.
with that.
Exactly.
Bless
So,
my son.
so I will
Yeah.
definitely ask Eric.
I'll invite him in.
I'll definitely ask Eric.
Make sure
All
you
right.
got handcuffs.
With that, by the way, I want to mention, please make sure you go to Kiwanis Connects. Yesterday's show was absolutely outrageous. A 7-year-old who's soon to be 8, he's a president of his own organization called Heroes and Hearts. 7 years old. And believe it or not, this young man does acts of kindness, not only here, but around the world. So please, Kiwanis Connects, go check that out. All right, top of the hour. Be kind to everybody. Why is that? We are all we have. Thank you for watching Thoughts Count Anywhere. Next week, I will be out for the show next week. I have other business to tend to. Scott Hosey, the man behind Power Play Sports, will be sitting in, which means next week will probably be the highest rated show without me on it. Okay, so, because what do I know? Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll see you next week. Be safe, be happy, be jolly, and always be kind. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week on Thoughts Count Anywhere.